So let me see here. See if it pops up on your other phone here.
Take your time.
You got three people watching already.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Welcome to Painting with a Grumpy Old Man. Just cleaning my palette off a little bit here.
Trying to get your stuff pulled up so you can read the chat.
All right. I'm glad you guys could join me on my journey of painting. A little bit about myself. I am a retired military for 20 years. I was in the Air Force. I'm a teacher now, and I don't teach art though, so don't be afraid. Today, you can see that I've already got a background pre-painted, kind of a swirly. I just took blue, white, and purple, and I made swirly things, and I took my blending brush and I just kind of fuzzed it out a little bit. Because today I'm kind of doing what I call a kitsch piece, or a bathroom piece, where you'd actually, I'm not painting a bathroom, relax. I'm actually painting something that you would normally find hanging up in a bathroom. And it is, it's likely to be correct, but maybe not. Who knows? So we're hoping. I don't know if you can see my palette here. It's a mess. Okay. First things first, I lost something, but I'm sure I have another one around here somewhere. I dropped a little plastic lid. Yeah, we'll find it later, especially since I actually need it right now. We'll use this instead. I use my mini art tools. This old bottle of paint that I don't use very often. A paint lid. A lid for a mason jar. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to paint a little Bubbleman coming out of a bathtub. So it's going to be kind of a fun little piece. If you're here to look for great art instruction, you probably come to the wrong place. What I'm into is having fun. And painting is fun. If it's not fun, then I probably wouldn't do it. So.
I can't get your chat pulled up on yours. For some reason it won't let me look at it. So next time you'll have to go live on this one, and then I'll put a different account
All right.
on this phone.
Sorry if I don't respond, because apparently I can't come up with the chats. So,
If they say anything, you'd be able to lean over at least. But
yeah, I can lean over and look.
But you're live, you're good to go.
But since I'm a grumpy old man, you might as well just know that I am not tech savvy. That I do love to paint. It is relaxing, and you'll find I use everything, including my finger.
Hello, Moto.
Now somebody's calling me. And I'll send them to voicemail. This is just a little bathtub here. So I guess I was lying. I am painting something that's in the bathroom. Little claw feet here. And I'm not worried about perfection here, because I'm going to fill it in and paint with other things later. And go back. There we go. I'm going to let that dry for just a moment. And I'm going to take my silver pen, which is around here somewhere because I'm so terribly organized. Where are you, silver pen? There's some paint I guess I didn't really need. And I am going to, I'll use a different pen. Let's see what I want here. Let's make the body. Most of the painting that I do is what we would call impressionist, although this doesn't happen to be an impressionist piece. I prefer mostly doing impressionist paintings. I'm not worried about perfection here because I will come back with blues and clean up all that stuff. Okay, here we go. Like I said, I'm a teacher, and I've had many careers and many things over my lifetime, and really enjoy painting because it relaxes me. And so that's kind of a rough guesstimate. Let's give this dude a head. I'm not worried about perfection. If I worried about, hey, look, I get some white paint in there. Nice. If I was worried about perfection, I'd go buy a photograph. I just want something fun to hang up in my bathroom or to sell on eBay. I do have paintings for sale on eBay. I have paintings for sale in Poshmark, and I've sold quite a few paintings over the years. But basically what I'm looking to do is have some fun while I'm painting. So, this is a very, very simple painting. It only has a few things in it. I'm going to take here on my palette, and I'm using acrylic paint. It dries quickly. I don't have to spend hours mixing it and making it perfect. And what I did is take a little bit of yellow and mix in with white for the tub, because I want a cream colored tub. I don't want a white tub because it'll stick out like a sore thumb. A nice sort of an aged cream here. And I used yellow ochre. And so what I will do, I'm going to come in with sort of a small brush here. Today we mostly use it, for the larger part I use larger brushes, but for this I'm going to use a smaller brush. And enjoy it. I'm having a good time today. Went and visited my grandkids while they did Easter eggy things. I don't worry too much at the very beginning of a painting how neat I am, and the reason for that is that I find that it's just easier to get the picture on here, and then after I get the picture on, you can go back and neaten it up a little bit. and worry about different shadings and stuff like that. But this isn't you know, this isn't a Picasso, so I'm not overly worried about perfection or what I'm going to do with it. Just hanging it in the bathroom. And so I'm going to go right around the back edge here with a little darker grayish color. And then right down here. Sort of give it the look of being a little depth in there. Okay. Bring this color up just a little bit. I don't worry about brush strokes or any of that stuff. I don't care if people see my brush strokes. I just like to paint. This is one of the things I do. So, while I do this, I am relaxing and I'm having fun. Hey, look, so my bathtub is apparently a hot dog, but you know, who cares? Let's go across the back with a darker line. There you go. That's good enough. Like that. We will come back and work a little bit more on the bathtub later. It's not as important to the painting as other things. Now, when you're dealing with bubbles, when I'm dealing with bubbles, it's a good idea for the background inside the bubble to be just slightly darker than the actual background of the painting. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go inside here with these little darker colors. And you can do this with a paintbrush if you want to, but I'm kind of in a hurry, so I'm just going to go in here. Because I've used a very dark permanent marker line, if I go over a little bit, doesn't really, nobody will suffer. But you can see here that this blue and purple, a little bit lighter than this blue and purple, and I'm going to go ahead and do all the circles that way. And the paint is a little bit transparent, but that's okay. Doesn't matter. Got a little bit of darkness here. And what this does is it gives your bubbles just a little more depth. Okay. Looking good, looking good. Looking good in the neighborhood. Like I say, I teach. I teach high schoolers and middle schoolers in history and excuse me, in English and Spanish, which by the way I don't speak, but that never stopped me before. Now I'm going to come back and use a very thin brush, about this size. You can see that. And I'm going to put my whites on here. Okay. But in some places, I'm going to add a little darker color here to cover up those stray marks. Nobody will see later on. And so street marks are not so cool. And sometimes you have to come in here with a little white, because white is non-transparent. And if you let that dry, you can go over it again in a blue. But I like to get my brush really wet and then pull the paint out and sort of make it like an ink. Roll my brush, and then I'm going to come in really close because I'm blind, and I will put the white around this edge all the way up to about there. The light is, we're going to have this, the light will be coming in this direction. Okay. Get the big one. Big one's a little bit easier to paint because, well, it's bigger. And with the white, if it goes over a little bit, that's okay, because I'm going to have to frost in here anyway. So, no biggie da. Okay, roll around. I'm diabetic, so you'll notice that my hands shake a lot, which I thought would keep me from ever being able to paint anything. But it comes out that it's not quite true. Diabetics can paint too. And you'll start to see the bubbles start to show up here. There are some people who are really careful when they paint, and they can make everything look so neat, their hands stay nice and clean. I'm not that guy. Yeah. I like to put my plant hand down somewhere that's not wet. I fail often, but hey, what can I say? Do the best I can. A little more white streaks here. This brush may be a tad too big, but it's going to work for my purposes. Like you say, if I want a photograph, I'll take a photograph. Perfection is not nearly as fun. Now, I'm not against people who paint extremely realistic stuff. It's nice, it has its place. I'm not particularly interested in it because I really like the old impressionists and stuff like that that were you know, just really innovative in their time of history. And I call this frosting it, so it starts to look a little bit like a bubble. You can dab a little white paint on the dark side where the light is coming through, and on this guy I'm going to give him a little face, reflection face. Okay, I'm going to take this right here and use the old finger again. Just make it a regular bubble here. Boom. Boom. Now, it will look more like a bubble when I go in and finally put the shadows in, because I will put some shadows underneath the bubbles to give them a little depth. But right now, got a little bit too much paint on there. Rub that out there. Rub that in there. And because I know I have to cover this up, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of the blue back in there. Okay. Not too much blue, I don't want it to be streaky. Okay. Rinse it out. Custom colors is okay sometimes. You never want to use too much white. It's like all little tiny shiny bubbles. Bubbles. My granddaughter today, she asked me to paint her a unicorn. I said, "Do you want me to make it out of bubbles?" She goes, "No more bubbles, Grandpa." No more bubbles. I'm like, so I came home after seeing my beloved children and grandchildren, and I'm going to paint some bubbles. So take that. I'm the grumpy old man here, I get to say. You know, I'm going to let those dry for a little bit before I come back and do anything to them. But I want to work a little bit more on this bathtub because it's really a sad, sad bathtub. So, put a little bling bling on there, make it just a little wider. And of course, inside, slightly darker color, or slightly darker gray. Grays are beautiful. They help your eyes rest when you're looking at things. So it is an underutilized color in painting, I think. So. And this is by no means meant to be a Picasso. It's just a silly little painting, and it's a lot of fun. And I thought it would be a good introduction to me. Okay. Drag some of those blues in there with it. A little bit of bling bling shine there. Yeah, I like that a little bit better. And then I take right around the back edge. Not looking for perfection, just looking for something that looks sort of like it. There you go. Sort of like a bathtub. There we go. Some extra colors, a little bit of the impressionist look to it. You'll notice as the time goes and we spend more time together that you will see a lot of dashes in my work. I really, really like that look of movement. There's no movement, it's just plain old dead and boring. I have different philosophies from a lot of artists. Bob Ross, God rest him. You're wrong, Bob. I have 3 children, all boys, all big, all mean, and there are no happy mistakes. So, since I've had 3 happy mistakes, I guess I defunct that particular theory. Now I'm going to take a touch of black just like this, really watery black, and then I'm going to take my blue and mix it in there. maybe a touch of the yellow here. Maybe too much of the yellow. And more dark, more dark, more dark. There we go. I like that color. Okay, this is a kind of an odd color. I know it's a sort of a azure blue or whatever, mauve, or I don't know what it is. It's a color. And I'm going to make shadows around all of my bubbles on the outside of them so that they raise up off of the thing. It doesn't have to be really big, it just, you know. And then maybe a little shadow under here. And I go from thick to thin. And that kind of lifts my bubbles off, but you got to do it outside of the white. A little bit of juju. And you can even spread it out here a little bit. What do you think? And this isn't a very, you know, it's not like, oh wow, look at how dark and different that is. It's just a slight shadow. It's just meant to bring these out a little bit. And this is sort of a teal color. A little teal color that goes in here. Give a little shadow. Do a little shadow over on this side a little bit. Okay. Alright. Let's do here. The idea is that the shadow is opposite of the direction of the light. The direction of light will be coming this way. And I know that many times my perspectives are not what you would call exactly right, but I don't care. I like to make things look the way I want them to look. And so, yeah, I do it my way. And people keep buying them, so I just keep selling them. And it's not difficult. It's not this deep thing. I mean, you hear artists talk about hues and tones and stuff. Okay, I'm sure they're important, but I'm having fun, so caring about hues and tones isn't really that important to me. Because I don't do this because I'm a millionaire painter, and I don't do this because I want to be famous. I do this because it's fun. If it's not fun, don't do it. You don't have to be a painter to be an artist. You don't have to be anything in particular. An artist is an artist. You create art, you're an artist. And if you mess up your art, you use the trusty old finger and fix it. Look at there. As my friend Jose Trujillo would say, it's beautiful. Give it a little frost look here. Boom. Maybe that was a happy accident. I don't know. Who am I? I'm not interested too much in politics or the kind of things that a lot of artists seem to be interested in. More interested in art, for art's sake. You know, I laugh at their movements. Sorry, and that's okay. If you feel like you need to be an artist who is making a statement, well, that's good. That's on you. Get it. Get that art. Make that statement. just don't ask me to care. Because I am a grumpy old man and I've lived a long time, and hey, I no longer really care. I think the closer you get to the end of the life, the more you look around and say, well, you people are just all silly. But that's okay. I spent many years being silly myself. Now I'm just about having fun. Just about the fun. Painters just don't want to have fun. That's all they really want. You can buy my album. Nah, I'm just kidding. Terrible singer. Alright, so now we got our guy. Now, a little more dash, just give it a little bit more movement here. Gotta separate these lines out here. World's worst bathtub, but I don't really care. Maybe I'll get a shower. That would be kind of cool. You guys want a shower? Straight down. Hook it over. Never actually drawn a shower before, or a bathtub. So I'm saying this is my special design. Maybe have a little triangle up here. Look how steady the diabetic boy's hands are. Not at all. Come and take a bath. Why? Why not? Clean your bathtub out. It's gross. Alrighty. Okay, let's do what I really wanted to do here. We're going to a party. Well, it's like Frosty the Snowman turned into Bubbles. What do you think, dear Mr. Bubbles? Always important to remember where your light's coming from, they tell me. Although, at my age, I forget lots of things, and then I get over it very quickly. Okay, and so let's see. Got some grays here. The lights are coming from this direction, right? So let's get the light over here. A little light on this hat. Top. And maybe let's just, since we're in the bubble theme, put a little light on his hat. Now, I like to have one bright color. I don't know what it is, I just do. And so we are going to give our buddy here that's a fine shower, sir. Okay. We'll give our dude here a little bow tie. I love acrylic paints, but they really do dry up really hard. And sometimes you just don't like it. So, actually, I think I'm going to add two bright colors here today. Just to be a radical. Put a little yellow there. Now I use the same paint on this usually, if I'm painting a lot during a day, sometimes I'll paint 3 or 4 paintings in a row. And when I do that, I usually use the same paint for other paintings. But if I'm not going to paint more paintings, then I actually will use this as a background to the next painting. Save myself a little bit of money, not waste as much materials. Okay, so we have a square here, boop, and we have a triangle here. This is one classy Bubbleman right here, people. Look at that. Words of my friend. Ain't that something? And my mom wasn't a great cook. I can be honest about it. She's quite a terrible cook, actually. But I would ask her what was from dinner, and she'd say something special. And so when I'd eat it, it was special, all right. It just wasn't good. We're going to call this snowman Mr. Special. And see if we can get this little thing here going. Maybe a little bit thicker red here. Don't be afraid to put paint on here, man. People are like, I must make it nice. I like texture. If I look to buy a piece of art, I buy art that has texture. And so I don't worry too much about having texture in my painting, because texture is fun. But grumpy old man, it's not perfect. Nope, it is not. They don't care. And of course we need some way to turn this on, so let's bring a little faucet up here. A little handle on it, knob on the top. Boom. And there we have it, man. There we have it. A fun little piece about this Bubbleman. Okay. And let's do the thing. With signature, Michael Tarver. And there we have it. We have Bubbleman stepping out of the bathtub, getting ready to go uptown. So I hope you enjoyed the time with me. We're going to do some more serious landscapes in the future, some serious paintings in the future, but that one just seemed really fun. Do not be afraid to use mixed media either. I use multiple different things when I'm doing mine. I want it to even out and look right. There we go. So there we have it. Maybe I'll add a little bit of frosty snow here. There we go. That is the beauty. The beauty. My grandkids will love it. And then I'll say, more bubbles. Why did you do more bubbles? So, my name is Mike Tarver. I'm a grumpy old man. Don't doubt it. And this is my painting. I'm going to call it Bubbleman. Very original. And I'll be doing lots of lives. You can find my work on Poshmark, or you can find my work on the 99-cent auction site at eBay at mytar, M-I-T-A-R _ 2742. You'll find all the paintings I have listed currently. They're at a great price. Get something for 99 cents so I can get it out of my garage. Studio. Yeah, this is my studio. So thank you very much, and come see me again.